Hello, and welcome to Three Reasons Why, where I pick a book and I give you three reasons why you should read this book. Now, on this episode, I'm doing my second Audible for the month of October. Okay, this book was good. Like, I was not ready for this, I wasn't expecting it, and it was hot. Like, oh my gosh. So, let's get into it. And a book that I picked this time is Face Down Friday's Prelude. This is the Crown Legacy Book 1 by Sherelle Green. Honey, you did that. All right, and let me read the synopsis so we can get started. Ever indulged in your wildest fantasies without any restrictions or consequences? Her. Sly smirk. Heated glance. I knew I was hooked from the first moment our eyes connected, but I'm not the type of woman to give in easily, especially when his offer is dripping in rule-breaking notions threatening to consume me. Him. I wanted her willing and ready for anything before she'd even spoken a single word. I'm a patient man, but even patience has a time frame when it comes to following her rules. But as she'll soon learn, I don't follow rules, I make them. Okay, so Face Down Friday is a fast burn, sexy prelude to the Crown Legacy series. Although this story can be read as a standalone, it's an intro into the series. So it definitely is. Okay, now basically we have Jade Daniels, and she's the owner of First Class Fantasy, which is a sex club in New York City. Yes. Haha, I remember. Okay, so it's a sex club in New York City, and she's the owner. So the very first chapter, we have our next person who comes in. He's introducing himself to her. He's looking around and she's like, who is him? But what I loved what she did in that very first introduction, when she first set eyes on him, she like had this man body down packed, and I was like, damn, she good. But that's what happens when you run a sex club and you see all types of men. Okay, so again, the name of the club was First Class Fantasy, and each day was a theme day. So it happened to be a Friday. He get there, and the theme for Friday is Face Down Fridays. Who wouldn't want to be face down, especially with the gorgeous man that she described? Now, he basically is what is called, he's one of her investors, and he invested in her company 15 years ago when Jade was looking for investors. And every year, Jade would send her investor a letter and a black box with a gift and just thanking him for all that he's done. But she's also spilled like some of her most intimate things. Okay, so let's get into the three reasons why I feel you should read this book. The first one is, I had communication, but I also put commitment. Okay, so one, Jade was committed for 15 years to send that investor who invested in her company to make it bigger than what it became. I mean, bigger than what she ever imagined. And she felt that she needed to send him a gift, but also thank him for everything that he's done to help her. But like I said, she also spilled her most intimate things about herself. So for 15 years, she was writing this man, and he finally came to collect. Like, he was like, okay, I'm here now. This is what I want. I'm ready to meet you. So that's what I'm saying. It's like the commitment and the communication, because even though in the synopsis it says it's a slow burn, I feel like it isn't, because 15 years is a long time to be communicating with somebody you've never met a day in your life, but you're telling him how you feel. So that gave this man a chance to kind of get to know you, but also fall in love with you. Okay, so my third reason was commitment, but also communication. Because who doesn't love great communication? And that brings me to my second reason why you should read this book. The filthy talk was it for me. Okay, so our man, who is the investor, who also wanted to collect on, getting to experience Face Down Friday. Now, he didn't want to do Face Down Friday with just any member. He wanted to do Face Down Friday with Jade herself, the owner. And she's like, I don't know, but Mr. Nash Crown is filthy. and I loved it for her. I loved it for me reading it. But the filthy talk was it for me. Nash Crown, like I said, he's the investor. He's the investor that came to collect. He's the investor who's been receiving the letters from Jade as well as the black box. And he's like, I'm coming to collect everything that you wrote about that you said. And like I said, I love that for Jade. I definitely did. And the filthiness, I just feel like it got better and better and better as he talked to her and asked her to do things. I mean, let me just say, read the book so you can see for yourself, because I enjoyed the interaction between them two. Okay. And my number one reason for picking this book is the love. Now, I'm going to say Nash was already in love. Nash was in love with Jade when he finally laid his eyes on her. And like I said, that's because it was that long time period where they were, well, and it wasn't they was exchanging letters. It was her sending him a letter and letting him know about her. So he got time to fall in love, to see who she was. I mean, he did see her in person and they did meet. It's just that she didn't remember who he was. So to basically get to have somebody telling you their most deepest dark secrets, their life, letting them know how you feel. Of course, you're going to catch feelings for them, but now he's there to collect. And it was instant. Like, yes, it was definitely instant love, but I also felt Nash was already in love. And Nash was adamant about, she's about to be mine, nobody else's. I want her. But let's not forget, Nash had plans. And I'm going to say this. If you ever go into a contract with somebody, you better read everything. Not to sit here and say that she didn't, but there was some things that Nash came back to her, to Jade, with that she was not happy about and in the contract. And so she had to kind of decide what she was going to do. So she was kind of upset about it, but it still did not stop her from dealing with him. And I love the fact that he said, okay, I want this with you. And I know you're upset with me, but give me a week. I'm only going to be here a week. Give me a week of being with you and let's see where this goes. So Nash was slick. He knew what he was doing. But like I said, he also had like a little secret, but he didn't just have one. So did Jade. So it was like you got some secrets, and then you got the little sneakiness, and then you got this hot ass sex, then you got this filthy talk, and then you got love. So it was like so much in this book, and it was written perfectly. Like, I loved everything about it. Now, let's get to our narrators, because we can't forget the reason why I'm doing audibles, because I'm listening. Now, our two narrators for this book was none other than Miss Wesley Siobhan. She always, delivers for me. Always. I love her as a female lead. I love her voice as a male. And then also her friends. Like, she did the dang on thing, as she always do. And I loved every part of listening to Wesley Siobhan. Now, our male narrator was Sean Kristen. Now, I have listened to some books of him before, and I love his voice. Like, I feel like he has like a little Louisiana accent that he's trying to not let out so much, but you can hear it, and I love it. Like, I loved his voice as Nash. I loved everything he did as far as delivering. I felt like he was Nash, but I'm going to kind of skip ahead because there is a whole series. It's brothers and one sister in this Crown family. But when he met with his brother with Saint and Pharaoh, oh Lord, when Saint started talking, I was in heaven. I loved him as Nash, but I definitely got to listen to the book with Sin, because his voice as Sin, was so good. Like, it was this deep, raspy voice, and I was here for all of it. Okay, but as Nash Crown, he was excellent too. So I can't wait to see if he will be the author, the narrator for every book in the Crown series. Because if not, I'm going to be so hurt. I don't care if he's not. As long as he do Sin, I'm here for it. Okay, so let me go ahead and give you my quote that I loved. And it's so funny because I always get quotes at the end of the book, but this one came at the beginning. Okay, so this is my quote. Alrighty, so right, he stated, his eyes darkening. I want to experience everything first class fantasy has to offer, except you misunderstood me. You're the only woman I want to show me the ropes in and out of the bedroom. So if I'm cashing in my first come fuck, I want you. Right there, I was like, yep, this man knew what he was doing. He here for his woman. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And he got her. And I loved everything about it. So again, check out Face Down Friday, Prelude by Sherelle Green. And this is the book one in the Crown Legacy series. The audio was by Wesley Siobhan and Sean Crisden. And this was about Jade Daniels and Nash Crown. And my 3 reasons why you should read this book. My 3rd reason is the commitment and the communication between Nash and Jade. My 2nd reason is the filthy talk from Nash, because it was the filthy talk for me. And my 1st reason is the love that came out, that came from this story for Nash and Jade. Again, this was such an excellent read. I loved everything about it, and I was so excited to read it. So join me next week where I come with you with a new book and audio attached to it and give you 3 reasons why you should read it. Thank you for listening. Bye.